Greetings, people. Welcome to another one of my rad guides to chadness. Okay, so one thing that you should know how to do as a rad chad is get a girlfriend or a wife. You know, get into that romantic relationship. Okay. So, you might be wondering how to do that. Well, it all starts with finding an appropriate girlfriend. The way you do that is that you have to make sure that the reason for your attachment is love and not lust. Ask yourself why you love this girl. If the reason is because she is beautiful, then you better forget about it because you will never have a real relationship. You need to love her because of her personality, worldview, and traits of character, stuff like that. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, we should talk about how you can actually, we should also talk about how you should prepare, because you can't just walk up to any girl and just snag her. No. No matter how persuasive you are, you can't just go up to a girl and riz her up without any preparations. So, let's talk about the preparations. Alright, step 1, get a life. Yeah, get a life. It is very important to have a life in order to attract girls, because the female gender is only attracted to people with lives. So, you might be wondering, how do you get a life? Alright, so, by a life, I mean you've got to do something on a regular basis that you can continuously talk about on during the date. Something that if your girlfriend asks you, "Hey, how's it going?" then you actually have a good answer. Bonus points if that thing you're doing is also something the girl finds interesting. Because if you are because if that activity bores your girlfriend, then the chances of having a romantic relationship decrease pretty drastically. Okay. So, now that we've got that covered, let's talk about actually having a romantic relationship. I mean, like, dating. Okay. So when you talk to a girl for the first time and you love her, then the most important thing you have to do that most people get wrong is that first you have to pretend to be a normal platonic friend. Like you have to completely conceal all your romantic interests and just act like you're just a regular boring old friend. Yeah. That's because if a girl picks up on your romantic vibes too early, then she is going to become suspicious of everything you say, because she is going to think that it's a trick to get her to love you. So, yeah, honesty, when it comes to confessing love, isn't always the best policy. In the beginning, at least. I mean, after some time has passed, then you should totally confess love. Like, once you really get that relationship going, you should totally confess love. Because otherwise, you are just a stupid beta. Okay. Alright. So, let's move on to the actual talking part. Okay. So, you go up to a girl like the rad Chad Sigma you are, and and you're like, sup yo, how's it hanging? And she's like, I'm doing great. Like, I've gone. Today I went on figure skating lessons and it was so cool. I learned so many new maneuvers and blah 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 blah. All right. So it is highly likely that that your girlfriend's everyday routine is probably going to bore you to death. But honestly, like, you kind of have to learn to tough it up and pretend like you are actually listening. And because one thing that girls really hate is men who don't listen. So you must endure all that boring babble and just grin and bear it. Okay. And eventually, the girl is going to get to the point where she says, "Alright, and how about you? What have you been up to?" And you have to be like, well, I just went to karate, and during my classes I partook in glorious battle and vanquished my enemies. And then, yeah, and then, that's, then the girl is probably going to be like, "Oh my God, you're super cool! You actually have a life!" And if you're doing that, then that's great so far. Like you can snag a girlfriend that way in no time. And also, another important skill in a relationship is that you have to prove that you are strong. You have to be willing to occasionally disagree with the girl to prove that you are a man and not a beta. And the way you do it is, so like, a girl wants a man who can make his own decisions and not a man who just goes and does everything she says, because that type of man has no personality. So like, the way you want to do it is like, whenever, like so like, you must kind of calm your instinct to say yes to whatever she says. Like when she says something, you must carefully think about it. Like, you have to carefully think about everything she says and deliver the appropriate response. instead of just brainlessly saying yes. Okay. So, here is so here's an example. For example, like the girl says, "You know, I really love Rochelle Diamante's music. She's the best singer in existence." And most people's response would be kind of an instinctive, like, yeah, she is, yeah. Like most people just have that instinct, but you need to get rid of that instinct. You need to think through what she said and then say your honest answer. Like you have to say, well, I honestly believe that Kasha is way better than Rochelle Diamante. And like then if things go well, then the girl says, "Oh, cool! I love you for how assertive you are. Like you actually have your own opinions about stuff." But you can also, but things can also go pretty badly. You can get really unlucky, and she can, and she can kind of like you have to like you have to like watch out for like for like signs of distress. It can be like rage, like she screams, "What is wrong with you?" or it can be like a form of shock, or like a or like it can also be kind of like a sort of like quiet despair, like I can't believe you would think that. So something like that. And well, if a girl does that, then do not try to defend yourself. It is best to abort your point and your dignity in order to save your relationship. Because even Sigmas have to back down sometimes. Okay. So no matter how little sense she is making and how much sense you are making, like no matter how blatantly wrong she is, well, the only possible rescue for you is by utilizing the so-called ARC method. ARC is an acronym for apologize, retract, comply. All right. So the way you do the ARC method is that if a girl gets mad at you for like, for example, liking Kasha more than Rochelle Diamante, which you should totally do because Kasha is way cooler than Rochelle Diamante. And so like, what you must do is you must say, I'm sorry. I deeply regret what I have said, for I was clearly wrong, and I cannot believe that I am capable of speaking such nonsense. Because what I said was obviously untrue. Like, it is obviously, like, it is obvious that Kasha is nowhere near as good as Rochelle Diamante. Rochelle Diamante is the greatest singer of all time, and I will never blasphemize her holy name again. She is number one. And I will always cherish Rochelle Diamante. Because she is clearly better than every single singer in the world combined. Okay, so that's how you do it. And then, well, like, of course, when you say it, you definitely shouldn't actually mean it, because, let's be honest, Kasha is the best singer in the world. And Rochelle Diamante has nothing on her. But when women get angry, they stop caring about the truth. Okay. So, now, you must remember, if a woman ever gets angry at you, you must not defend yourself or your dignity or anything like that. You must apologize, retract your statement, and change your worldview to match hers. Oh, and one last tip is that when you were talking to her, you must aim more to listen than to talk. You must focus on listening. Listening comes first. Talking comes later. Or never, depending on how talkative your girlfriend is. But that is how rad chads get girlfriends. Goodbye.